I'm Jerry James Stone and you're watching Cooking Stone. Today I'm going to make something that I've been kind of dreaming about for a while. I really want to stuff a Brussels sprout. I've talked to other food bloggers about it and everyone says you're crazy, it's too labor intensive. But actually, you know what? I found a way that's going to make it really simple, and that's what I like to do. I like simple, accessible recipes, and so I think you're actually going to enjoy these stuffed Brussels sprouts and find that they're not hard to make, and it's just another way to enjoy Brussels sprouts. First thing you want to do is trim off the rough end of the Brussels sprout. We don't want to eat that. And then I'm going to cut this Brussels sprout in half. I'm going to do it from this side because I want to make sure that I actually get equal halves. It's important for when you're stuffing the Brussels sprout. So just go ahead and slice through the Brussels sprout. And now Brussels sprouts could be a pain in the butt to stuff, but what we're going to do is we're actually going to blanch them cut side down. By doing this, it will actually make the Brussels sprouts easier to pull apart and eventually stuff. The way you blanch these is you put them in boiling water and you just want them to be in there just until they turn bright green. So just as they brighten up, so they will only need to be in there like about a minute, 2 at most. And once they're all bright green, we'll remove them and begin stuffing them. This is probably the trickier part of this recipe because Brussels sprouts are not maybe as convenient to stuff as a mushroom, but what we're going to do is we're going to remove this part right here. And what you do first is using your thumbs, holding the Brussels sprout kind of like this, just spread the Brussels sprout. This is going to kind of remove these different layers, kind of exposing this part that we're going to actually cut out. Once you've done that, using a paring knife, go in there and just kind of take a little sliver, and then you can kind of pop that section out. Now this is a little small, we're actually going to make them bigger, so I'll probably cut right there. Just do that. And remove that part. And then you have this lovely little Brussels sprout cap that we're gonna stuff with yummy ricotta, herb, garlic tastiness. And that's it. Of course, we don't want to waste any food, so because that's bad, right? And we're all against wasting food here at Cooking Stone. So we're gonna take the part of the Brussels sprout that we removed, and we're just going to like chop that up as finely as possible, because this is actually going to go into the stuffing mixture just like you would with a stuffed mushroom. We're going to saute about 3 cloves of garlic for this recipe. I just use this little garlic mincer, which I love because it gets the oil of the garlic in there along with the garlic pieces. Add in a hefty amount of olive oil. So add in the chopped Brussels sprouts. And just saute this. I didn't have enough oil, so we're going to need a lot more oil for this. We're going to use about 1 cup of ricotta cheese. Next I'm going to add in some dried herbs. I'm going to use about just under a tablespoon of dried thyme, tablespoon of basil, about a teaspoon of marjoram, and another teaspoon of sage. Let's add the sauteed garlic and Brussels sprouts, and add in about a ½ cup of panko style breadcrumbs. Mix that all together, and take the stuffing that we just made, which is amazing, and go ahead and just stuff the Brussels sprouts, little Brussels sprout caps, if you will, and place them on a baking sheet that's lined with some parchment paper. While you're doing this, I suggest you let the oven heat up to 400 degrees. You want to bake them at 400 degrees for about 20 minutes until they're nice and crispy.